How could someone possibly hide a massive fraud? It's a question that leaves many baffled. Fraud, a deceitful practice or false representation for personal or financial gain, is a significant issue in the business world. It's a dark art, hidden in the shadows of balance sheets and transactions, often concealed by the cunning and guile of those who perpetrate it. One such case that stirs intrigue is that of Truong Lan, a prominent figure in the real estate sector. This tycoon, who once held towering influence, managed to weave a web of deceit that kept her fraudulent activities hidden for years. It's a tale as intricate as it is fascinating, leaving us to wonder how she pulled it off and what strategies she employed. So how did Truong Lan manage to keep her fraud under wraps for so long? Let's dive in. Truong Lan, a real estate mogul, managed to hide her fraud in plain sight. To understand the art of deception, let's delve into the strategies she used. Truong Lan was not just a master of real estate, she was also an adept at complex financial transactions. These transactions, shrouded in layers of complexity, were designed to confuse and misdirect. She would move money around from one account to another, making it difficult to trace the original source of the funds. Next, let's talk about shell companies. These are businesses in name only, with no substantial assets or operations. Truong Lan set up a network of these ghostly entities, often in tax havens far from her homeland. These shell companies, like a magician's misdirection, served to distract from her fraudulent activities by creating a smokescreen of legitimacy. Offshore accounts were another tool in her arsenal. By moving her ill-gotten gains overseas, she was able to hide them from prying eyes. These accounts, located in jurisdictions known for their banking secrecy, were the perfect hiding place for her fraudulent funds. Yet it wasn't just about the money. Truong Lan also used her influence and charisma to divert attention from her financial discrepancies. She was a master of the spotlight, using her public persona to charm and distract. She would often host lavish events, donate to charitable causes, and even rub shoulders with the rich and powerful. All of this served to create a persona of success and philanthropy, while her fraudulent activities continued behind the scenes. However, no matter how clever the scheme, forensic accounting techniques can help uncover such frauds. Whether it's tracing complex transactions, piercing the veil of shell companies, or uncovering hidden offshore accounts, these techniques are the key to exposing the truth behind the deception. So stay tuned as we delve into the world of forensic accounting in the next scene. Forensic accounting, a blend of accounting, auditing, and investigative skills, can be the silver bullet in uncovering frauds. Just imagine a detective equipped with a calculator, scrutinizing financial records instead of crime scenes. That's essentially what a forensic accountant does, and when it came to Truong Lan's case, these professionals could have been the key to exposing her illicit activities. Let's start with transaction tracking. This is the bread and butter of forensic accounting. It involves tracing financial transactions to identify irregularities. In Lan's case, an examination of her real estate transactions could have revealed inconsistencies, such as properties purchased at significantly lower or higher prices than market value. These anomalies could have been the red flags pointing to possible fraudulent activities. Next, we have data analytics. This is a powerful tool in the forensic accountant's arsenal. It involves the use of statistical techniques to analyze large volumes of data for patterns or anomalies. For instance, a sudden spike in Lan's income or an unexplained increase in her assets might have raised eyebrows. Data analytics could have helped identify these unusual patterns, prompting further investigation. Lastly, there's financial statement analysis. This is the method of reviewing and analyzing a company's financial statements to make better economic decisions. It would have been particularly effective in Lan's case. For example, if her company reported consistent profits despite a downturn in the real estate market, it could have indicated that something was amiss. Similarly, discrepancies between her personal financial statements and her company's could have signaled potential fraud. So, there you have it. Transaction tracking could have spotted the unusual property purchases. Data analytics might have picked up on the sudden increase in income and assets. And financial statement analysis could have highlighted inconsistencies between Lan's personal and company financials. These techniques, when applied diligently, can pierce through the veil of deception. So how was Truong Lan's fraud eventually unveiled, you may ask? The answer is a compelling blend of human courage, forensic acumen, and regulatory diligence. Firstly, let's tip our hats to the whistleblowers. These brave individuals, often overlooked, are the unsung heroes of truth and transparency. In our case, they were the first to raise suspicions, their voices echoing in the corridors of power. Their allegations, though initially dismissed as rumours, gradually gained attention, casting a long shadow over Truong, Mylan's illustrious reputation. But suspicions and allegations alone do not make a case. Enter the forensic accountants, the detectives of the financial world. Armed with their analytical tools, they began to dissect Truong Mylan's financial labyrinth. They meticulously picked apart every transaction, every balance sheet, every financial statement. They scrutinized discrepancies, anomalies, and patterns that didn't quite add up. Their efforts were akin to solving a complex jigsaw puzzle, where each piece, no matter how insignificant, could be the key to the bigger picture. One such puzzle piece was a series of property transactions, seemingly routine on the surface, but irregular in their frequency and timing. Another was an intricate web of offshore accounts, designed to obscure the flow of money. Each discovery, each anomaly, each irregularity brought them closer to the truth. Simultaneously, the regulatory authorities were keeping a close eye. They were monitoring the situation, ready to step in when the evidence stacked up. When the forensic accounting investigation reached its tipping point, revealing a complex scheme of financial manipulations, the regulators swooped in, their actions swift and decisive. The result, the once untouchable Truong Mylan, now found herself in the eye of a storm, her empire crumbling around her. Her fraud was no longer a secret, her deceptions laid bare for the world to see. The unravelling of Truong Mylan's fraud serves as a stark reminder that no fraud can remain hidden forever. The path to uncovering the truth may be complex and fraught with obstacles, but as this case demonstrates, with persistence and the right tools, the truth will always emerge. The case of Truong Mylan offers several important lessons. In her intricate web of deceit, she displayed the ugly truth of how complex and sophisticated fraud can become in the realm of real estate. It's a grim reminder that not all that glitters is gold, and the bigger the empire, the deeper the secrets it may hold. But we also learned about the powerful tool that is forensic accounting, a beacon of hope in the murky waters of financial misconduct. It's the detective of the accounting world, using financial clues to piece together a narrative and expose deceit. The role it played in unravelling Mylan's scheme cannot be overstated. And finally, we saw the downfall of a fraud. Despite her best efforts to hide her tracks, Mylan's empire crumbled under the weight of her own deceit. It's a sobering tale of how the truth always has a way of coming to light. In the end, transparency, integrity, and diligence are the best defenses against fraud.